identify linear and nonlinear functions. You've done this before multiple times. In previous lessons, you learned that linear functions have graphs that are straight lines. This is because the rate of change between any two data points is constant. Somebody remind me what the word constant means. The same thing over and over and over. Very good. So what they're gonna ask us today if it's linear. There's two things that make a function linear. If it's a straight line, I'm impressed you remember that. Crosses through the origin is proportional, but that was kind of along the same lines. And then you have a constant rate of change. A constant rate of change. The opposite of linear is nonlinear, which they are not constant or not the same and not a straight line. Ms. Hoff usually says it's got some type of curve to it. Okay? It's got some type of curve. 328. Okay, look at those tables. Have we done this before? It's the swoops, remember that? It's the swoops. What was the change between these numbers? The only thing that they didn't show us that I wish they would have is remember which letter goes on top, X or Y? Y. So really this would be negative 15 over 2, negative 15 over 2, negative 15 over 2. Are those all the same? Yes, which means they're constant. So they said the rate of change is constant, so the function is linear. Then on number 2, you would have said 15 over 3, 33 over 3, and 51 over 3, which are not constant. They're not the same. The rate of change is not constant, so it is nonlinear. We're doing swoops again. How many times have we done swoops in a table? A lot. That's why I think you'll go through this really quick today. All right, let's go down to the bottom and do got it A together. Determine whether it's linear or nonlinear and explain. So start with our table. On our X, how do I go from 0 to 5? Plus or minus? Plus 5. Very good. 5 to 10. And 10 to 15. Very good. Then on the Y, 20 to 16. Minus 4. 16 to 12. And 12 to 8. Okay. Now, which letter goes on top? Your Y. So which one of our numbers goes on top? Negative 4 over positive 5. Then the next one is negative 4 over positive 5. And the last one is negative 4 over positive 5. Those are the same. Very good. So because they're constant, is it linear or non-linear? Linear. So this is what we write. Linear because the ROC is constant. And yes, you can write ROC. What does ROC stand for? Rate of change. Very good. Linear because the ROC is constant. Okay, should we look at B? Let's do the same thing here. B, how do I go from 0 to 2? Plus 2. How do I go from 2 to 4? Plus 2. Miss Hoff's pen quit working. How do I go from 4 to 6? Plus 2. So across the top, they're all plus 2, right? Okay. Now on the bottom, how do I go from 0 to 2? Still plus 2. How do I go from 2 to 8? Plus 6. Then how do I go from 8 to 18? Plus 10. Okay, which letter goes on, or which number goes on top? 2 over 2, then 6 over 2, then 10 over 2. Now they all have the same denominator, but look at the numerators. They're all different. So it's non-linear because the ROC is not constant. Non-linear because the ROC is not constant. And even if you divided these, you'd have a 1, a 3, and a 5. Not the same. Not the same. That is the whole day. Okay? I want you to try one start to finish on your own, though, before you go off and do a different one on your own, or do the whole assignment on your own. Flip to page 330. Why don't you do number 2? Guided practice number 2 right here. You are more than welcome to use a calculator. You are more than welcome to use a calculator. You got to decide what you have to add. Remember, if you want to figure this out, subtract the front one minus the back one. 3 minus 0, 6 minus 3, 9 minus 6. Find what changes in there. Do you guys remember how to do this? The top one's easy, right? Plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. It's the bottom one that gets us a little mixed up, right? When you type this in your calculator, 9 minus negative 3, 12. So that means I really added 12. 21 minus 9 is 12. 33 minus 21. It is? For real? Okay, so what's your fractions then? Over 3, then, nicely done. What's your answer to this? Linear. You are right. You want to do another one, or you want me to leave you alone? Leave you alone. Okay, one thing. The one part that people get screwed up on is when they get to the graphs. Nonlinear graphs means that it is not a line. Okay, it's got some type of curve, twist, bend to it. So these on the left were drawn using a ruler, linear. The ones on the right, you couldn't use a ruler to make one mark on it. Does that make sense? Somebody's like, is it going to be like a little tiny curve? No, it's going to be drastic. You're going to know linear or nonlinear. Okay? All right. 331, your homework starts on. 331. I jump all over the place. Ready? 1 through 6. 8. 12. 20 and 21. 1 through 6. 8. Actually, don't do 21. I'll let you off the hook on that one. 1 through 6, 8, 12, and 20. All right. The hour is yours. I'm hoping you'll have very little homework.